Performance Review Panel, which is the PRP, is a committee of the LSIS Council. The LSIS Council is composed of our sector membership bodies, and it also includes observers such as the Skills Funding Agency and the department. The PRP gives us life because it authorises BIS and SFA to release the funding for LSIS on an annual basis. And the funding for this last year was approximately 1% of the main participation budget. So the Council allows us to exist, and we need to obviously show back to the Council that we have had measurable impact on the sector. And the way this is done is the Performance Review Panel, which meets once per term to review the previous term's work of LSIS. In the last term, we were required to present performance information with regard to the key measurable impacts in the platforms that we've been delivering through 2011. LSIS has been very surprised by the amount of positive impact that we've had on the sector. We've seen trends in Ofsted grades improve for those providers that have had help from LSIS. We work with about 684 colleges and training providers, which is almost half the sector. And we've been able to see a trend in an improvement of 1 grade in the subsequent Ofsted inspection, whether it be re-inspection or whether it be a natural inspection in the normal cycle. We see a similar trend in work-based learning providers. Some of them are much smaller, some of the interventions are much more intensive than others. And we obviously understand that there is a causality associated with this, that not necessarily everything that LSIS does is a direct consequence on the inspection grade. But it's quite clear and quite evident that the work we do does have a measurable impact on the staff and the teams in the college or the training provider that allows them to achieve the next inspection. We've also seen an upward trend in performance success rates for particularly FE colleges, particularly smaller FE colleges as well. And we see numbers ranging from sort of 3 to 5% in some curriculum areas. And 5% for colleges who are already achieving 70 or 80% is very hard to achieve. And so we're very pleased to see that increase in performance as well. We've also seen support for leadership teams and senior staff as well. And those on our support programs for senior staff have themselves moved forward and developed within their organisations as well. So very pleasing to see that output for LSIS. I think for us, I think it allows us to show the Performance Review Panel, the Council, our sector, our owners and supporters, if you like, that we have had a very positive impact, and much more beyond the 1% of funding that's given to LSIS. Well, Learning and Skills Improvement Service is now the only support agency left in England, and so we feel the responsibility for that. We feel the responsibility of the funding that we're allowed to have. So we have to look after that, we have to be guardians of that funding and spend it very wisely. And we obviously try to spend it on activities that have a clear, measurable, positive impact on the sector. And I think the last Performance Review Panel showed that that is the case, that we are doing the right things and doing them well. We obviously have to keep up the pace, we have to keep up with developments in the sector, and in some areas also lead the sector through their thinking, through some of the best practice that's brought through. And we are committed to using our support providers, our improvement partners and our beacon improvement partners to support us in delivering that activity, to keep the funding, keep the skills and keep the knowledge within the sector. And that's got to be a positive.